So HDS, our company name is Healthcare Data Solutions. As our name would suggest, we're a data company. Our core data is either healthcare provider or healthcare organization data. And what I think we do very well is take that data and make it relevant for the different healthcare industries that we sell into. I like to bucket our products into two different segments. One is inside of directory services. So if you have a provider directory, or if you need to know information on a doctor for marketing or any other purpose about where a doctor practices, that would be in a directory. And then we have validation services, and those validation services would be at a transaction level. I want to know if this doctor can actually dispense this medication. Up until recently, our provider validation services were completely integrated into the PDX workflow, which meant that the API, or the web services, it was integrated into PDX so that the pharmacy staff did not have to go into a separate system in order to do the validation step prior to adjudication. Now what we are able to do is actually have that outside of PDX and integrate into any pharmacy management system. It could be within a proprietary system, a homegrown system, or any non-proprietary pharmacy management system. One of the most important things is that it's seamless to the workflow. Inside of a pharmacy system, if they have to swivel chair or go into a different screen or do any of that, it's not going to be used. One of the other important things is that it's super fast. If it's not immediately in front of them, they're going to think it's broken. So what we've done is we've actually created a standard API, and that API integrates directly into the system right before it adjudicates. It actually is integration into the screens so that it actually looks like it's adjudicating. So a lot of pharmacy systems call it third-party screen or third-party window, and it'll present itself as a reject inside of that window so that the pharmacy team member is able to take action on it before they actually dispense that prescription. So HDS is integrated real-time into thousands of pharmacy locations. Inside of those pharmacy locations, we see the prescriptions, the transactions every day. In fact, we process over 1.5 million prescriptions through our validation engine every day. Out of those validations, we did take a look at one of our chains over one quarter and looked at all of the different validation messages that were sent back and forth, and we found some pretty interesting statistics. One of them is actually looking at the DEA. So the DEA is able to fine pharmacies if they're using an invalid DEA number, if the DEA is expired, if it's an organizational DEA. There are many different reasons that a DEA might potentially fine a pharmacy. The one pharmacy that we looked at over one quarter had almost $4 billion worth of potential fines that we were able to alert them on prior to that prescription going out the door. So if we're able to identify that before the prescription goes out the door, that hopefully reduces their risk at receiving fines from the DEA. We see a lot of movement at a federal and a regulation level every day. Most recently, they just changed the hydrocodone medications from a C3 to a C2, if you saw that in the press last week. That is really important because that's going to be a major change inside of the pharmacies. How are they going to remember that this hydrocodone prescription used to be a 3 but is now a 2? By having that integrated into the workflow and into the validation step automatically, we can help them catch that. We can identify, hey, this doctor is actually not legally able to dispense a C2. They're only legally able to dispense a 3 through 5. So therefore, this hydrocodone prescription that might have been valid last month is no longer valid to dispense today. Our website is healthcaredatasolutions.com. Our white paper is on there. It's downloadable. They can reach out to me. My email is miranda.rochol@hdsdata.com, or if they're on our website at healthcaredatasolutions.com, they can put or submit a request, and one of our account executives will reach out to them.